Hey guys, welcome back. This is the activity for your Vietnam War unit. So first off, make sure to put your name and class period. Then next for directions, obviously watch the video. So there's this video and the other one going through the PowerPoint slides on a little bit of background information on the Vietnam War. So hopefully if you're watching this one, you've watched the other one, which is an awesome job. Thank you for doing that. It's going to help you a lot. And especially help you guys understand what we're looking for. So after watching the videos, you're going to read through these sources. I'll do one with you. And then make sure to scroll down here and do the written portion as well, because that's where you'll receive most of your credit. So going through this first one, this example, this is a source from Martin Luther King Jr. In his speech on April 15th, 1967 about the Vietnam War. And remember, throughout all of these passages and sources down below is vocabulary. So some of these words that are bolded that could be pretty hard to understand, make sure you go down and look at the definition so that you can better understand the reading that you're looking at. So for this first one, I'll read through it. So our government blatantly violated its obligation under the Charter of the United Nations to submit to the Security Council its charge of aggression against North Vietnam. Instead, we unilaterally launched an all-out war on Asian soil. In the process, we have undermined the purpose of the United Nations and caused its effectiveness to atrophy. We have also placed our nation in the position of being morally and politically isolated. Even the long-standing allies of our nation have adamantly refused to join our government in this ugly war. As Americans and lovers of democracy, we should carefully ponder the consequences of our nation's declining moral status in the world. So after reading that and looking at the vocabulary, you still might be a little confused. So what this text from in speech from Martin Luther King is saying is that the United States should not be in this war. A little bit of background, like from the Google slides, we talked about how a lot of people in the United States thought this war was unnecessary and that we should be focusing our attention on problems that were happening in the United States, not overseas. So his stance is obviously that the government should not be involved in this ugly war, as he says, and that we should be, and that our allies and other nations have refused to join our efforts, only proving his point that we should not be in Vietnam. This would obviously be in support of the Doves movement, which, if you remember from the slides, the Doves were the ones who really supported peace and the anti-war movement. So he would not be a hawk. So he would not be someone who supported the war effort. So this is an example of someone who would be a dove. So Martin Luther King Jr. would be considered a dove during the Vietnam War because he promoted peace and wanted peace and not war. So that's the example right there that I read through you. You can go through each one of these sources and highlight some of the more important information. So for instance, if I was doing that for this one, I'd really highlight this one right here, this sentence where it talks about our allies not wanting to join the war effort. So I'd probably highlight that. We'd undermine the purpose of the United Nations. I'd probably underline or highlight that because that's really important as well. It really helped me understand what this is about. And then the first sentence as well, how we violated our obligation according to Martin Luther King with the United Nations. You can also add little comments to the side if you wanted to. Feel free to do that. If anything, it'll give you more credit to actually show us that you were doing something when you're reading it. But please make sure to highlight and add words or little boxes to the side to help you better understand what the source is explaining itself. So go ahead and read through. This is source 1, source 2, source 3, and source 4. So after reading those, you're going to come down and answer the question, the 3.0 one, 3.5, and 4.0 as well. If you have questions, again, if we are virtual and you're watching this, please email or message us in Empower or join the Zoom sessions and ask us. Or if you're watching this while we are in person, please make sure to raise your hand and we can come over and help you go through it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and best of luck to you.